So I've put us on now. We're live. So let's get back on, see if we can do this again. Apologies, everyone. The camera's gone off now. Let me just go and change the camera. Keep talking, Chris. The stream's off.
All right. What's up, everyone? It's yours truly, Chris from Christy Gaming Zone. I have joined.
Changing my battery.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, I have a duplicate of this stream open right now, so that's a bit annoying. Oh, that's a cute square which I just saw. Alright, everyone, sorry for this weirdness that just happened. Chris from Christy Gaming Zone here. I have joined Mr. Devlin tonight, so we can have some talks and stuff. Because being lonely is a bit boring. Alrighty, what should we start? Like, Mr. Devon already has some issues with his stream.
Oh God, I'm back. I know. Second one, and then the camera goes off. Oh God, I do.
Cute square like in the middle of this.
Yeah, I do apologise, everyone. Yeah, back now. Mr. Cheeky, yeah, it's all good now. What did he say? Yeah, the game's okay. Play hardcore multiplayer. Get 20 kills.
Oh.
Yeah, apologies for anyone who was watching the first stream. It just went tits up. Everything crashed. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen halfway through the stream. But we're back again. Hopefully, it'll be okay now. And we've got Chris from Christy Gaming Zone. How are you, Chris?
Oh, you got the name right.
I know. Yeah.
What's happening?
I know, because you told me off last time.
Yeah, I was a bit pissed, let's say. But it was mostly for memes. I just wanted to troll you.
Because everyone knows Christy Gaming Zone, but I used to always say it's Chris from CT Gaming Zone, and it's not that, because you'd say, I'm sure you'd find it anyway, but it's actually Chris T Gaming Zone. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Christy Gaming Zone. But if you search CT Gaming Zone, because I usually use like a hashtag in my videos, so it's just CT Gaming Zone. So if you write that, it just forwards to my channel. So
anyway, Proton said, "Can we do a minute silence in gratitude for the most popular president of all time, Joe Biden?" No, because I don't think he's the most popular president. When someone disrespects the British people, one of the first things he did was take the bust of Churchill, Winston Churchill, out of the office. I have no time for that guy.
Okay, so I knew there was already some drama starting. From what I've heard, like Mr. Donald Trump left the office without even congratulating this Joe Biden Sr. or Mr. I say. All right, so America is a bit interesting this season.
At the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah, at the moment. We could actually talk about that, actually, because, I'm sorry if there is people that watch my videos and watch my streams and, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not Joe Biden's biggest fan. One of the things that he complained about was how Donald Trump allegedly separated these children from the people crossing over from Mexico, separated the children and put them in cages. Now, that was true in effect, the way it worked, because these people coming over were illegals, so they were arrested and the children were separated and they were put in cages. But having said that, that's one of the big things that Joe Biden got on Donald Trump's back about. How many children is he released from these so-called cages? The answer apparently is 0, Chris.
Shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like politics. When you talk about these, it's always divisive garbage. But please don't split children from parents.
That's true.
Morally fucked up. Don't do that.
But who's right? I mean, it is a delicate subject, I must admit, Chris. But whose fault is it? The country that they're going into, or is it the parents' fault for taking a chance on illegally coming through and bringing the children with them? Because if I thought I was going to get arrested by illegally going somewhere Because right, Chris. Okay, say I was out with one of my children, and I did an illegal activity, regardless what it was, and I got arrested. They would not put the child in the police cell with me. They'd separate them. They'd put them with child services or whatever. So I think every country does that. I think it's just the fact that it's where they went to, I think, was the problem.
Yeah, like having children stored in a country, but the parents like, yeah, goodbye, take your trash, see ya. Like, at least give them the children back or something. Don't just steal them and give them into your state without actually like giving anything, for example, citizenship and shit. Because like that's basically stealing humans and shit. So
No, I totally get you, and I understand where I understand people's anger, but I think because it will happen, because it'll still happen. For argument's sake, if people come over from Mexico illegally into the United States, they will still get arrested. Under Joe Biden, I don't care what anyone says, it's still going to be the case. If you do something illegal, you're going to get arrested. If you do something illegal with your children with you, they are going to get separated. You're going to go to jail, and the children are going to be put into protective child services. And I think it's horrible the fact that the children would be separated from the parents, but I've got to say it's the parents' fault then for putting the children in that position.
yeah, that is true. If you take like your children into a dangerous zone and you expect like them to be at their you basically expect them to be at their mercy. So it's you and them. If you go both, you should expect like punishment or at least be warned. You should know what are you doing. Don't just take your kids, YOLO into that thing. So this
I know,
is a
but
really delicate problem, which I
it is.
want to skip.
Yeah, it's same as me. I don't really like going in that sort of direction because, I mean, we're gamers at the end of the day. But someone made a comment, and if I can reply, I'll reply. I don't like the fact that children are separated from the parents, but I just know where a situation, even in Britain, if you do something illegal, say for argument's sake, you got caught dealing drugs from your house, and the police raided your house, they would take you to jail, and they would take your kids into protection for the social services or child protection. They would do that. I just think I'm not gonna. I'm not going to give my alliance to anyone, but I think they did it just because it was Donald Trump. I honestly do. Because the bottom line is, I think Donald Trump's a dick, but I think he genuinely wanted to do the right thing for his country. I just think he's just a bit of a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he is. Like, let's give him credits where credits are due. He didn't start a war. Like,
not one. Not one.
So he tried to like touch a bit of that Iran thingy, but he still left it. So it wasn't without a war.
But he basically said, "Look, he actually said I don't want a war, but he said if anyone fucks about with us, they're gonna get it."
Oh yeah, that is for sure.
And I think that put the fear in a lot of people.
Still, like there's a lot of sanctions, like especially with the China trade deal war, like that thingy was basically started by Trump in like 2019 and stuff. So, somebody joined us tonight.
Who've we got?
What's up, Stealth?
Good evening, gents.
Oh, it's Stealth. We're just going to finish off this little section, Stealth. We were talking about politics, so I think we need to get off
fun.
that. No, it was about Donald Trump.
I am sorry.
I'm voting for Donald Trump.
I just
he's not in office, and I'm not in the United States. But who cares?
Well, I'm not. Neither is Stealth. But it was Proton that put in about we were talking about Joe Biden. He said he's the most popular president ever. And I said, look, I don't like him and I don't. And then we got into the conversation about the kids being put in cages. And I said, yeah, it's not nice. And Chris says the same thing. It's not good that children are kept away from the parents. But I said it's the same in the UK. And I mean, maybe it's proper off the map. But, you know, if I did something illegal and I had my child with me, if I get arrested, they're taken into child protection, child services. It's the same difference. But, I mean, it was a bit extreme over in the States. But it's the same. Look, if I'm dealing drugs from my house, the police raid my house and I've got kids there, I'm going to jail and the kids are going into protective services.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. The bottom line of, and this is something that people always forget, authorities in terms of police enforcement, etc., 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 they are all founded upon what is called a duty of care. And that duty of care states that if you have dependents, then that duty of care passes to the authorities if you are in custody. If there is no one else for them, they have to look after them. They have to do something that takes them out of that illegal or dangerous situation because they're essentially viewed as one and the same by the law. So if you are dealing drugs or doing whatever...
Proton, you're a nut job.
If you're doing whatever, then if they didn't have any other immediate family or accessible family, the only people left to care for them is the state, and their duty of care says that you have to take care of them.
I think legally they have to. I think that's pretty much in every country. I think it's a legal obligation that they couldn't just leave that child. I mean, you know, when these Mexican parents go over illegally, may I add, illegally, then, you know, is it the authorities that are at fault? Because
the thing that I don't like about this whole they put them in cages and they put them in camps and that is...
That's exactly what we're talking about.
I guessed. The thing that I don't like about this is the US border, the US-Mexico border is extremely large land border, and yet we're only ever shown pictures of these really, really suspicious and bad looking camps and such.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, is this one location? Is this the majority of location? What is the context to this? I don't know context, so I can't comment on that. But the media would portray it as if every single person that is caught crossing that border illegally is thrown in a person-sized cage. It's like, what is the truth behind this? That is what I don't know. And therefore, I don't really feel it's safe to just say, oh, yeah, the entire US border is like this. You need to do a bit of digging. You need to find out what actually happens there.
Exactly. But, I mean, what the media and what, dare I say, the left would say or wouldn't say is how well they were probably looked after when they were in child services or whatever it is in America. They were probably had, you know... I don't want to be disrespectful, but they probably got fed better than they've been fed for months. They probably had,
you say that, Devlin, but you need to realise that you are correct in some cases and you were also wrong in cases. But this is the thing. When you are crossing between that, I've watched a good awful few things of this because I find it incredibly interesting. Not just the US-Mexico border, but other things that happen within the world as well. This whole, the grey side of the law, should we say. I find it very interesting. But you also have to consider that these people pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, US most of the time, to be taken across. And then when they get to that border, they're called coyotes. I can't remember the...
That's right, yeah.
Coyotes, that's it, I think is the term for them. But yeah, the coyotes basically say, we are going or we are not going. And they can be sat there for weeks just saying, no, we're not going because the US side of the border is too hot at this point in time.
Yeah.
So you need to consider that. Some of those families will get there expecting to go on the 1st of the month, and they might not get out there till the 12th or something. They've already paid out their life savings.
Whatever, yeah.
They literally may not have money to live off on. And then when they're with the authorities, that might be the first time they've eaten in days, because people just think that crossing the US-Mexico border is just you hop from one side to the other, then you're on society. No, there is.
Matt, he used to be. It's not anymore.
So many corpses that are regularly found there. It is desert. It is hundreds of miles of desert in certain places.
But what bothers me, Stealth, is if you're going to take that chance and you're going to spend your life savings, why not do it legally then? Why not just apply?
A lot of them can't, Devlin, because the US, as well as many other countries in the world, adopt systems that basically say if you're an unskilled labourer, your chances are minimal.
Fair enough.
And you
Fair
also
enough.
consider that
Fair enough.
a lot of the people who wish to cross over are not only classed as unskilled, a lot of them may only have a basic grasp on English, if any grasp on English, and in a lot of countries, especially the US, you don't speak English, you're going to have a hell of a hard time getting through the bureaucracy. And it's the bureaucracy and the applying for residency, applying for citizenship, that costs an awful lot more money.
No,
hundreds of times more.
Totally understand. And just to try and get off this, because it's not something I really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say one last thing. Then why go over them? Why try and go over? And I do understand they might have a real bad standard of living where they are, but I don't think I would take that chance with my children, in all fairness. But I think we should stop talking about that and let's get back to gaming talk, shall we?
Yeah. Just to close that off as a whole, just to draw a line on that topic as to why do people seem to do this. I've just quickly Googled Mexico average income per capita. So income per person per year, $2,800.
That's it.
US average income is $100,000.
Shit.
That's why they do it.
Yeah,
people have
probably.
It's the whole grass is always greener on the other side. That's the reason for it.
I just think, look, when I go on holiday or if I visit somewhere, I abide by that country's rules. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Desperation and hope. It's incredibly dangerous, but it's incredibly driving.
I'm desperate for money. I wouldn't rob a bank. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get back to gaming. Let's move on. We were talking. This is actually the second stream, my PC and my system completely crashed. I had to stop and start again. But we were talking about, we obviously all know Patrick Soderlund, the guy who said we were all uneducated and if you don't like the game, don't buy it, for Battlefield 5. Well, he and a few other because we were talking last week about how some of the developers and even one of the guys that were involved in the creation of the Frostbite engine have actually made a new studio. I think it's called Ember.
Okay.
Yes. I do remember some developers from DICE created a studio and they created like a Doom-styled game.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic game because I've seen some actual footage of it.
It looks pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I thought it looks good. I'm not into futuristic games, but if this new game studio, and love him or hate him, he does know his shit. Patrick Soderlund. I personally don't like him. I think he's a dick, but. If they could turn that into something like we want for Battlefield, it'd be very, very interesting to see where they go with this.
I really hope they will fix everything they did with Battlefield V, because, like I said, there were some ideas in that title, especially with the gun mechanics, like the life.
Gun mechanics are great.
These ideas were great, but the implementation was absolute garbage. So, if they take, for example, what Call of Duty's been doing, let's
sorry, Chris. Good night, Proton. Thanks for popping along. Hope work's not too busy.
F in chat.
Just for joining us. Yeah, and also F in the chat, mate. So, just like I said, if they basically do something like Call of Duty, of course, without the SBMM garbage, like the trashy updates and shit.
Yeah.
If they take that type of live service,
and
they did what they did with Battlefield V, for example, a lot of content, just like how they promised, but they actually create it and don't rush out a title, then I suppose Battlefield 6 or 2021 should be an interesting title to experience. Right now, we are still having some issues with it, because, just like I said previously, Battlefield 1, the last DLCs were rushed as hell, and Battlefield V became basically a train wreck. So only time will tell how everything will go out for it.
Well, it certainly did end up a train wreck, Chris. I mean, you didn't like it from the beginning. I didn't. I actually bought it, then I refunded it, cancelled my pre-order. Then I bought, if you remember, I bought the what was it? The EA sort of
Yeah, the
the pack thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually bought that, and I'm still happy with that. I still buy it, in all fairness, but I bought it so I could get that Battlefield 5 for free. What a fucking mistake! Because I hated it from the beginning, and I did go back. Chris will tell you, I tried and I tried, and I just didn't like it. And I think
I actually got like a trial from Electronic Arts.
a 10-hour trial.
Yeah, the 10-hour trial. So
You didn't even finish that, did you? You didn't even use 10 hours.
trial. It was just disgusting. I even bought this title so I could actually record material for a rant which I did on my channel. And let me tell you, those 10 hours which I recorded that footage, only like one when we played like Wake Island. That was the only experience I enjoyed. Co-op was garbage. Single player was garbage. Multiplayer normal one is garbage. Whatever they had else, like cosmetics, are absolute trash. I think they pulled that
Cheers,
shit out
Nicole.
from their ass. So that title was abysmal. Like the only glimmer of hope was the Pacific content, but then they continued with some jungle shit, which nobody gave a shit about. And they just
And what happened to the Russian faction?
it got cancelled. Like,
Do you know what I mean? I mean, how could you not put that in a World War II game?
Yeah, I must admit, I've
That's how
noticed
it
that
goes.
over the years. Early
That's how it
2000s, we were having quite a few Eastern Front bits popping up here and there. That's even in sort of early 2010, sort of World at War era, if you will. And honestly, I really, really, really want to see some more Eastern Front stuff. Call me
Yeah.
controversial, but I don't give a shit about the whole, Soviets bad, they murdered German POWs, Germans bad, they murdered Soviet citizens. Yeah,
There's so much crime in war.
I as a person do think that is bad on both sides, but hey, when neither side observes the Geneva Convention, you just have to kind of go with it if you're making a game. But I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking, with all the modern shit we have, I would love to be playing a Battlefield game, Eastern Front. I'm in
That'd be brilliant.
a Tiger, or I'm in a T-34 or something like that. I'm firing out. I'm at Kursk, or I'm an infantryman. I'm in Stalingrad. Real knife fighting, room to room style stuff.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Levolution,
amazing.
bang, Blizzard. 6 feet, 7 feet vision. You can see the gun flashes. You can hear them. Friendly enemy, don't know. The HUD is going away from you. What do you do in that situation? I feel there is a lot of potential for Eastern Front maps.
Yeah, I mean, not many people have done it. In all fairness, do you know what I'd like? What about a game that's just predominantly that setting?
Well, I mean, Company Heroes 2 did it, and Company Heroes 2, granted it's an RTS, they did it really well because they did dig into the whole sort of Eastern Front mentality of, you had partisans, you had conscript soldiers. It wasn't too afraid of the Eastern Front, so to speak. But I really think that if you look at some of the battles that happen in the Eastern Fronts, Stalingrad is obvious, Kursk is obvious, Battle of Moscow, Battle of Leningrad, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Really, really go with. And of course,
Definitely.
It's Russia in the winter. Levolution gives us a blizzard. There you go.
Exactly.
I could really get behind a whole system where you are fighting in, say, a couple of villages, say, are on the map. And if you're out in the open when that blizzard strikes, you get a heat meter or something. And that heat meter starts ticking down bit by bit by bit by bit. And if it gets to 0,
that'd be interesting.
Because then everyone dives into a building, your heat meter goes back up, and you're fighting for those positions. You're not fighting because you're being shot at. You're fighting
for those positions.
This campfire is warm. And
I'm having that.
Yeah.
Can I just address this stream? Steve McQueen, you own 2 deluxe copies, mate. What the fuck for? I know. Mr. Cheeky Waffle, how far in the future is Battlefield 6? I believe, and this is not in stone, I believe it's modern near future, maybe 10, 15 years. But again, it's all speculation. I think maybe that's what we all want, not really what it's going to be. Nicole, I deserve more than 8 viewers. Sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less. We're doing the grind. It's every Friday night at 8:30, but really appreciate you coming along, and thank you for your nice comments previous to that. Yeah, it's you know what, we do it, and you know, one day one of us might blow up. We're all doing the YouTube. We've got Chris T Gaming Zone, and you've got Stealth 77. If anyone's not subscribed, please subscribe to them. Look, Nicole, we're just doing the grind. We like what we're doing. We come on. Sometimes we'll just come on and have a game of Sandstorm. We'll have a game of Call of Duty. I'm sure Fridays we'll have a game of Battlefield, and I'll be joining Christy Gaming Zone for one of his streams in the up and coming weeks. But I really appreciate you saying what you've said. Not Advanced Warfare for Battlefield, I don't think. Again, we don't really know what the game is going to be, but apparently it's going to be modern, maybe it's near future. But I'm sure a lot of the bigger Battlefield players, content creators that went over to Warzone, I'm sure they'll be back and playing dumb till the game's actually released.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just the powers of deduction.
It's got to. I think it's got to be.
We had an entire stream about this, and it did just boil down to people know, and they won't say it. But
yeah,
if you just look at what's happened in recent history of Battlefield, it's really, really likely to be modern / near future. I can't see it being anything else because, again, we said all this before, but if they go for another World War One or World War Two, people are going to look at that and just going to say, "Fuck's sake, it's Battlefield 5."
They might as well go for medieval.
Fucking Mordhau. I've actually been playing Mordhau again recently.
I noticed it popped up when I turned my PC on the other day.
I'm an admin in one of the servers. So
oh god!
I basically start hosting events on
right.
the server whenever I turn on. It's great fun. People, if you like hack and slashes, give Mordhau a look. Great fun, great game, great fun.
Well, I've actually got what's that?
Chivalry.
What's up? No, I've got that. For Honor, I've got. You know what? I've never loaded it up. I got it for free.
I was so infuriated by For Honor because For Honor is less of a medieval fighting game. It's more of a, if you like things like
hack and slash. You said hack and slash.
That's the thing. It's less hack and slash. It's more Mortal Kombat, more not Killing Floor, Killer Instinct.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Style. It's very fighting game-esque, so to speak, and I just couldn't get into that. But the issue I have with For Honor is, no matter how well you do, you're still gaining experience, and the matchmaking is based upon your player level. So I'm shit at the game, but because I've got really great mates, I'm being forcefully dragged up with experience. I think I quit out at level like 50s, 60s, but I was only playing at the level of like a level 20 or something. So as soon as I loaded up a match, I get fucking bodied. So I just don't know the game. So unfortunately, just the way it matchmakes killed it for me. Amazing, beautiful looking game, really fun.
It does look stunning. I've never ever loaded it up once.
If you only play it for campaign, Devlin, I can highly
just play that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what the multiplayer experience will be like because I haven't played it since the year it came out. I did play a good bit, but a long time ago.
It looks interesting. I mean, it was one of those games, and I don't know how I got it free. It just came up and got it free. Nicole,
meme potential in there as well. So
I'll have a look at that actually. Nicole, I've got a too high budget for 1060 subs. You take time and you talk all day, and you're doing more for us console players, like the whole community. I really appreciate that. You know what? I got slagged off for doing too many console videos, but you know what? I'm like the boys will tell you, I'm like a dog with a bone. If I want something done, or I have something in my mind that I've got to get done, I'll just get done, and I'll get it done, and I won't give up till I get something. And I just think, Nicole, I honestly believe that NWI and a lot of people didn't agree with me, that are starting to agree with me now, when I was doing this 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago, calling out for the console players. I actually really, I do get decent views on the videos, in all fairness, and I do put a lot of money into my equipment. But you know what? It's something I want to do. I get slagged an awful lot for doing it, but yeah, it's something I am not going to give up on, to be honest. And like I say, a lot of other people that were slagging me off in the beginning are coming round and saying, actually, mate, I've got private messages, which some, I suppose I could show, because they've not said don't show it, but there's people out there said, please don't show it, because I know there's some of these people that are in the partnership program saying, Devlin, actually, didn't agree with you at first, but you are right. So thank you, Nicole.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is integrity.
But do you know what it is, Stealth? At the end of the day, if you believe in, so I'm not even a fucking console player. I've got a console, but I'm not a console player. But if you believe in something, go with it. Yeah. And if someone's coming on my stream and saying, look, thank you for doing the stream and thank you for sticking up for the console community, you know what? It makes it worth it, in all fairness.
Yeah, entirely. I mean, I think we say it every time we talk about NWI, but all of us that end up popping on the stream and such is just we love the game. It's just NWI has fucked it up, and none of us are really willing to let them just.
And that's another thing, right. Nicole. Yeah, we love this game, and it really isn't just me that's doing this for the console community. I think it's just because I was the first. A lot of people did it after I started campaigning for the console community. In fact, I do know I was the first person, and I'm the only one who constantly does it. But you know what? No, I won't stop helping you. I'll always help you. If something comes along, I'm not one of these dickhead people who do YouTube, and if you find something that gets in 1 or 2 views more, and so I move over to that. No, I'm not going to give up on the console community. I'm going to do it till we get something final about it, be it good or bad, Nicole, something final about the console edition of this game, because I'm not very optimistic, especially for Xbox One X. And the PS4, definitely not optimistic about that. But no, I'm not going to give up on the console community. And Nicole, no, you're not a bother. You're a subscriber, obviously. You've come and interacted in the stream, and I really appreciate that. But the answer to your question is no, I'm not going to give up on the console community. But just as we were talking there, sorry, Chris Stealth, I'd be interested, because you said you were playing Mordor Stealth, Mordor. What other games apart from shooters are you boys interested in? I know Chris was playing Cyberpunk, or wanted to play Cyberpunk. So I know.
I'm getting 120 frames a second. Max Cyberpunk 2077. Cleanse.
Yes, 120 frames.
So, Chris, what other I know you're massive on Battlefield 2 and you like the Battlefield franchise, but apart from that and shooters, what other games do you play?
All right, let me first bring up my Steam library so I can read them by the fingers. So I'd usually play like platformers. For example, there was such a game as A Hat in Time. It was crowdfunded, so this is like one of the games that's actually released after getting backed up on Kickstarter. So I definitely recommend you playing that. It's a bit of a kid's game, but it's really fun when you have some time in it.
A lot of us started on platform games, mate.
Yeah.
I'm glad maybe you should try it out,
Yeah, possibly.
Oh gosh, you just
also Civilization 6 and 5.
Is that still going?
Yeah. They are. They never die. Civ games they don't die.
Yeah, usually we die when we play it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like insane turns. I remember we did like 1,000 turn game once. So.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Yeah, we pulled it until the end.
So that's
yeah, I remember vaguely that. Like, Civ 4 is still getting mod content and such built for it. So
Shit.
even
I didn't
Civ
even think them
alive.
games were still alive.
yeah, it's time. Civ is really timeless.
Shit.
Civ is like, well, except the first ones, because that is 2D.
Oh yeah,
But
1
if you
through
take, like-
3 are gone, but 4 onwards.
Yeah, but 4, 5, and 6 they are alive and still kicking. Like
Did you see what
I'm
Nicole put in the
playing
chat?
5, the
Yeah.
shit out of 5. I enjoy it. So,
Cyberpunk on console, the new Minecraft update. Actually, it's not far off the mark. That, in all fairness,
if you at least buy it on the consoles, because that shit is gone. So I think it's on the
have they actually? Is it still on the Xbox store?
on
I
the
thought
Xbox,
they
yes,
pulled
but I
it.
think PlayStation not.
Oh, they pulled it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah, PlayStation.
What's going on with that then, Chris? Is because there was some
'cause
legal talk.
It runs like dog
Yes.
shit. And they basically what did Cyberpunk developers basically promised we are going to refund you the game, but PlayStation Network doesn't do that. So
No,
they got
no.
banned and they pulled it out of the Steam store. Yes, of the PlayStation store. So that's how it goes. Like Sony doesn't like refunds, no matter how you look at it. If you pre-order that shit, you can't refund it. So
If they said they're going to refund the game, so for argument's sake, say Sony said for argument's sake, they've sold 1 million copies, and they said, well, we're not refunding it. But the developers of Cyberpunk said, look, we'll refund your game. Are they going to have to pull that out of their own pocket?
Pretty much.
yep.
I mean,
pretty much yes.
see, this is the thing. PSM is just a middleman. It's just a storefront. So whenever you sell on the storefront, you're essentially paying 45 quid for a game and then 5 quid to the storefront, essentially.
Right, okay, yeah.
So-
So they'd only lose, right, okay.
The
I see what
storefront
you're
just
saying.
takes their cut, and
Yeah.
then the rest of it goes off to the dev.
The
So
devs, yeah.
PSN, they're basically saying,
We're keeping our $5.
basically, yeah, is what it boils
Yeah,
down to.
yeah,
how I
that's how it
understand
is.
it. So they've essentially said, if you're going to recoup these people's money in full, you're going to do it yourself, but we're not going to do it through our storefront, because if we do it through our storefront, we are then losing the money we have gained on legitimate sales, essentially. They have sold something, and their involvement is gone. They are finished in that transaction.
Yeah.
Because it has passed a certain point, and the developer is now, they're not recalling a product because it was
It was their fault. It was shit.
yeah, basically. It's not a case of
Yeah.
like, if you sell something like fucking oven that sets on fire every time you use it, that's a product recall. That's not fit for purpose. But because they sold it for a certain length of time and have now decided, actually, we're not going to fix it, we're just going to recall it, they can fix it, but they are not fixing it. Therefore, PSN or PSM is within their rights to say, well, you're choosing not to fix the issue, so I'm out, basically, is what they're saying. As far as I understand, I don't know legalities, ins and outs, but that's how
Do you know the thing is though? Because I know Xbox will let games go through that are not finished or are not released yet,
Early
but
access.
the PlayStation don't though. That's
Yeah,
what apparently they will not let a game go through unless they've tested it. It's working perfectly. So I'm not getting it, because obviously the Insurgency Sandstorm palaver.
that
That's
was
why
the one.
it went on the Xbox, because Xbox will let that happen. They'll let you put a pre-order game on there. I mean, so will PlayStation, but PlayStation want to see that game working perfectly before they allow it on their store.
Honestly,
So I don't understand how
can't
that's
explain-
happened.
I can't explain that other than I have two theories. Both of these are completely baseless. Do not take this out against PSN or CD Projekt Red.
Nicole, I like armor. It's just a bit too much for me. Sorry, Stealth.
Agreed.
I was.
One is that they bamboozled PSN. Two is that PSN had a bit too much faith in CD Projekt Red after
Because they've got a good reputation.
shit. Yeah.
The reputation.
I have no evidence or any basis to put either of those ideas on. It's just the only way I can rationalize PSN's stringent controls being bypassed.
Do you think it was just the fact maybe there's a bit of loyalty and they think, CD CD Pro, I can't
Honestly,
even get it out. Project and a company
yeah.
that a company we've had on here before that they've released games not
I
without flaws, but
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if CD Projekt Red had enough
gameplay,
social capital, if you will, to
possibly.
grease the wheels. I
Possibly.
believe that they could have gone to PSN, said, "Here is a segment of the game. Have a go. We know there might be," because this is the thing. It's all persuasion and how you build your relationships and how you manage your relationships. At the end of the day, if PSN asks you for, we want 30 minutes of solid content, we want to have this much in multiplayer and that much in single player or whatever, you can provide that to them. But at the end of the day, PSN is not going to get a finished game, play it end to end, and then go, yeah, that works, we'll put it on our storefront. They're only going to request certain things, and this is where my two theories start cropping up in my head. So either CDPR gave them what they wanted to satisfy their demands,
Or what they wanted to hear.
Exactly. Or there was a little bit of a back and forth between them, and they came to some sort of agreement of, your CDPR, you have a very, very good reputation. We have seen your past works. We are happy that you are disclosing that there's issues to us. Based on what we've seen, we believe that you'll be able to get this ready. We'll allow it through.
Don't let us down.
Yeah, basically. I do not know what has happened behind closed doors, but that's possible. And of course,
you actually might have a point, Stealth. You might have a point.
If you want to go full tinfoil hat,
all on trust.
You could even say that the reason why PSN, whatever, is not supporting this whole refund thing is because they put their faith in CDPR.
And they might have turned around and said that to them. Look, you asked us to have faith. We had faith, and you let us down. Just go back to the chat. Look, I've played Armour. It's a bit too much for me. It's a bit too intense. The best game I've played that's hardcore and tactical is, I've got to say, Insurgency Sandstorm. People think I just slag the game. I don't actually slag the game off. I love the game. Armour 3, I like it. It's just Nicole, like Steve said, Armour's hard. It's hard. Have you boys had experiences with it?
I haven't had the pleasure of playing it, but I've watched a lot of it, and I look at it, and I've played DayZ, which of course is based upon Armour 2 and Operation Arrowhead and such. And even DayZ, which is much more watered down than Armour, the controls and the menus, and it feels a bit clunky, and it's a bit too in-depth. And then I look at Armour 3, Armour 4, sorry, not Armour 4, Armour 3. I just look at it, I'm thinking, there's too much for my mere mortal brain to handle here. I want to shoot people, and I want to have tactical, and I want to, deal with wounds and injuries and such, but when I see someone pull out an EpiPen and then go through 3 menus to apply it to someone's left testicle, fucking hell, it's getting a bit too much for me.
I mean, it's got. I mean, if you like mil sims, or if you like, Armour's for you.
I think the way you need to look at it is you have hardcore shooters in one big bubble, and then within that bubble is the milsim bubble. That's what I think about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like a tactical shooter, and me and Chris have had this conversation before, that Insurgency Sandstorm for me is just about right. It's about, Chris has said that before. I mean, even Squad, I like Squad. I play Squad. And Nicole, just to address what you asked me, I definitely, I've called out before, said, look, anyone want to play, any of the subs want to play, especially Sandstorm, I'm quite up for that. Let's have a look. How do I find what my name is on Steam? I can't find
your Steam, you just go to your profile.
Oh, it's just Mr. _Devlin then. If anyone wants to add me up on Steam that are on PC.
You know what, lads? Let's arrange something. Let's book something in for, I don't know, next Friday or something, as opposed to...
Yeah, because we need a game Friday. We need a drunk stream.
Let me take this one step further, though. As opposed to a drunk stream or a sit down stream, there's an idea that I've been toying with since I started all this YouTube
Okay,
lark, which
let's
I've been starting for
yep.
a long while. Which I've just dubbed it Wingman Project. I literally have a fucking folder calling Wingman Project. And
Who
I've just
said
got
Father
notes in
Wank?
there. Father fucking Wank.
Frederick Chilton.
And the entire idea is basically we have people in chat and we have people that we interact with. We see them time and time again. Let's invite them to do a game with us.
Yeah, we should do that. We
just
should
set
do
up a
that.
party. We have the streamers, and then each week, I'm not going to say you win a place or anything like that. Just be active in the community. Say hello to us. Just say hello. Even if you're just like Nicole, or if you're like Scott Jordan, or if you're like, Frederick. Just if we see you or whatever, and you're in the Discord, you're showing interest. Who cares? I don't know what the criteria will be.
Yeah.
Just let us know you're a real person, and hey ho, maybe we might open up a squad because you get what 8 players per side on Insurgency, sometimes more.
Exactly.
We've got 3 spare spaces. Let's get some subs on.
And do you know what? If we could get enough subs together, and you know, it's not unfortunate, and it is unfortunate that the fact, because of what I do on my channel, a lot of my subs are console players, so. Because I'd even say I'd rent a server and we could all just go on and beat the shit out of each other on PC, playing Insurgency Sandstorm. We could create some sort of thing. I'd stick a prize in there. But you know what? Stealth, it's a good idea. Maybe we could find another game that, you know, we could play, that we could get subs involved. Just want to go back to what Frederick said. Frederick said, Father Wank said no console info a few days ago, and refunds have nothing to do with NWI. I actually, look, Frederick, I understand that. I know that it's Microsoft that has to give the refunds, but you know what? I have asked so many times, please just step in. You're the developer. Could you not just go to Microsoft and say, some of the people who wanted our game are still having problems getting refund. Could we try and sort this out? We need to help these people who we want to get on board for the next game, which you're fucking up, by the way, NWI, because you're not helping them. And there's Frederick saying, you know, NWI are turning around and saying, I'm doing a fucking video on that. Thanks, Frederick. I'm doing a video on that. That it's nothing to do with NWI. Of course it's something to do with NWI. Frederick, right, NWI put that game on there. People pre-ordered it. They pulled the game off there. Some people got automatic refunds. Some people had to fight for refunds, and they got them. Some people are not getting it. And Chris will back me up on this, because I passed him over the same documents that someone sent to me and said, Devlin, could you please try and step in on my behalf? And I asked NWI on videos, and I said, please, could you step in? And this guy had actually gone to his credit card, his bank, and they said, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. They've turned around and said, no, you can't have a refund. All I asked was for NWI to step in and help. And you get a comment like that. Refunds have nothing to do with NWI. NWI, because I know you're watching, and I say this every single time. How does that make you look? Chris, because you even put some of that information in your last Sandstorm video, didn't you, Chris?
Yep, I did.
I believe you actually did put a screen grab of those documents in one of your videos, Devin, didn't you?
I did. I put them all. Chris put a couple. Yeah.
That is publicly available now.
Yep. And
it's
there.
That he was
you can see that. He was refused. It's a letter from his bank that says, look, we've tried to get your money back. I'm sorry, you just can't get your money back. What? How the fuck is that allowed to happen? And I understand it's up to the Xbox, Microsoft to issue these refunds. But when someone's, because they watch the videos, I know they watch the videos, when someone's asking on behalf of a community you profess to want to be on board, and you turn around and said, nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's just... It's just fucking wrong.
I
At
know.
the end of the day,
I know.
I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to speak purely hypothetically here. If I'm NWI and I legitimately have nothing to do with this, you do, but whatever. Let's say NWI had nothing to do with this. You are still the operating company. You still have that duty of care to your player base. You still have that presence with Microsoft to say, actually, sorry, they were buying our product, but there's been a change of plans here. Microsoft, can we intervene on their behalf and
Yeah.
ask you to refund as the company that is selling this?
Because you've
that
had the
is-
money.
Yeah.
But
Of course, they won't do that.
right, so how
How you
I
monetizing big titles? So
I
Okay.
wonder how that works then.
Sorry, I wasn't- Sorry, can I-
Is the money actually handed? I don't understand. Where does that money go then?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, even if NWI has nothing to do with the actual payment process and they just get the money in the end, sorry, I just want to address the goal specifically here. I'm not saying don't give them a refund. I'm saying that even if you can't refund it yourself or overturn the payment yourself, you NWI have a duty of care to step in and say to Microsoft, we can't do anything physically, but we would like to ask you to refund these payments or do whatever is necessary. They need to step in at this point in time because you're fucking selling it.
I know, and you
If
thought
you're not handling the process,
you would think they would do that because they're going to want
want
these people on the next game. They're
Yeah,
going to want these people, and do you know what? These people they're going to say, "Oh, right, we've got this new game." Say, for argument's sake, excuse me, I'm just going to make a cigarette. So, say for argument's sake, they do get Insurgency Sandstorm out on the console. This generation, next generation, just next generation. Just current generation or last generation. Say they actually get a version of this game out on the console. Now, people will be totally pissed off with it anyway because they've waited so long, and then because it will happen months later, they turn around and say, right, okay, so we're releasing a new game in November. Please pre-order this game. It's coming out on the console as well. What are the console players going to be? They're like, fuck off, mate.
fucking. Sorry, I've got. So.
Oh, we've got a bit quiet. Yeah, so
I'm eating chocolate.
no, it's all right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's no
carry
problem,
on.
sorry.
Yeah, so
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Devlin.
All right, Devlin, go first, then I'll follow up.
all right, okay, so then they come out and they say something like, look, we've got this new game. You want us to trust. We want you to trust us because we've been so open, so transparent, and the way we handled the console edition of Insurgency Sandstorm was impeccable. Could you please pre-order our next game, Chris?
No.
Yeah.
I can do.
So, I was trying to say this through mouthfuls of chocolate, which we got as a family box for Christmas, but I've only found out about it
Oh, Jesus.
22nd of January. Thank
Great.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, what the fuck are you playing at, NWI? You cannot expect to have that. You have no goodwill within the console community.
And honestly, Stealth, how did they think it was going to go, or how do they think it's going to go next time round?
It astounds me. A child could figure this out. But
And
the
the-
situation with NWI is a load of shit, which is still steaming.
But
Like,
And this is from all over the world. Chris is Moldova. I'm British. Stealth's British. You've got people in the chat from all over the world. I honestly don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant now.
Go,
So,
Chris.
These assholes, like in the latest blog post, said a console version is still in production. 5 lines. 5 fucking lines.
Of the whole,
minutes
yeah.
that Embracer Group was purchased. Fuck's sake. Shut up, NWI. Seriously. Fuck off. You're just spewing out shit and trying to give fake hope for your community.
yeah,
And if you try that kind of shit for the next title, fuck you, NWI. Seriously, fuck you.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Frederick just raised something as well, saying, "Don't they have a stream on the 21st of this or next month?" But
I'm not allowed. I can't comment. I'm totally blocked and banned from anything NWI.
At this
No,
point,
I
like,
still can't wait.
I don't
to
even
hear.
watch the streams because I know there's not going to be anything there. No in quotation marks, of course. Whatever.
No. It's going to be the typical catchphrase. Everything talk about today is not about the console edition.
Fuck off, Stace.
You don't even need to watch the streams anymore to know that there'll be absolutely nothing there.
No, it's not for console players, and they don't even bother saying we're not going to say it now. They just totally ignore them. They block them. They ban them. They because I've done it myself. I actually I did it myself on, and in all fairness, it was YouTube, but I put a comment on. It was there, refreshed it, gone. So I know exactly what happens.
Somebody's in the blacklist.
No, I'm proper in the block list. And they said, "Oh, we don't monitor the YouTube channel." Honestly, instantly blocked. Because I think I was on with, I was talking to Ben one night, and I was watching the stream, and I said, "Oh," and I actually said, because I said, "Ben, look at this." I said, "Could you please just give the console players some sort of information, give them a bit of hope?" Ben said, "Yeah, there it is." I said, "Ben, refresh it." Gone instantly, and and they say on their Twitch stream, we don't monitor YouTube when they're doing the live streams. Yes, they do. Steve McQueen, thanks very much, mate. I'm not that old. I probably am actually. Right, Nicole. Yeah, I'm pretty old.
Shit, man. So yeah, like all of this NWI lies just are piling up and piling up and piling up. And I really hope this will come and haunt them with the next title, because I know it's already being produced. Like,
of course it is. We know that, Chris. We know that. Yeah. There's no there is no secret about that. That game's well into production, and you know what? What's going to really piss me off, and it's going to give me great videos, by the way, is the fact that they're going to think, you know what? They'll forgive us, and they'll just accept it, and they'll just buy our new game. Let me tell you something. The console community have got a lot of games they can play. They don't need your game. They wanted your game. They wanted Insurgency Sandstorm, and if you would have put it out when you said you were going to put it out, even with 12 months delay, and you did actually get it out on the 25th of August when you said it was coming out last year, I think you would have got away with it. Now, I really don't think you'll get away with it.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
at this point, this console port is just a lie. Because if this shit is still in production since 2018, when
16.
Sandstorm was officially, 16, this game is in production for 6 fucking years. So, are you telling me this console build exists? Please.
No. Right, Chris, can I tell you something? You know when it was first announced that Insurgency Sandstorm was coming out on console? It was 2016. And I read it. I think they've took it down now because I put it in one of my videos. I read it off their own website. 2016 it was promised, and I understood. Look, I know the problems that you can come across when you're trying to release a game on console, but fuck me, 2016 game releases 2018. Okay, fair enough, you didn't get the port right. 2019 didn't happen. 2020 25th of August, a definitive date. This is the date it's coming out. And now they're saying, oh, well, you know, we want to bring the best experience for our players and a game we can be proud of. Then why say it in the first place? Why have a definitive date? Why do this to the console community? It's as if they are taking the piss.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's basically it.
It's insane. Like, honestly, we had 2016, we had 2018, we had 2019, we had 2020. Now they're saying first half of 2021. It's gonna come, it's gonna go, and we're not gonna have it.
It's a fucking joke.
But first,
yeah.
I want to ask.
I am genuinely starting to feel bad going on this topic, knowing that Nicole actually cares about this, because this is the thing. We wanna stand by you guys. We want to support you guys, and we want to genuinely bring you guys good news and hope in that. And I think I speak for all of us when I say every time. Oh, hello North. Every
How you
time
doing, Ben?
we have to tell the console
What's up, man?
community it's not
Ben
happening.
is in the chat.
Ben's in chat. Every time we have to tell the console community it's not happening, we have to be honest with you. I think we all feel a little bit bad inside for you guys.
I actually really feel guilty, in all fairness.
because
I do.
We are the people that you come to and you say, please give us some help. Please tell us something. Please get something out of NWI for us. Bring home the bacon. Be the breadwinner. Whatever you want to call it. And all we can say is, I'm sorry, but I can give you nothing.
Because I had some. Sorry, Stealth. I had someone who was speaking to. I've not spoke to him for a few weeks now. I don't really know what's gone on, but I used to get a lot of information. Not getting as much as maybe it's because it was Christmas and he's probably still drunk now, or maybe he's left. In fact, no, he's not left because I would have known if he'd left. I used to get a lot of information I could give. And say one or two controversial things that I knew that NWI could do nothing about because they knew that I knew it was true, because I was, in some of my videos, I was letting sort of subliminal sort of sentences out that NWI knew that I was telling the truth, so they could do nothing about it. But recently I've not had a lot. So like going back to what Stealth was saying, there's people that come to myself and the people in the chat and people who do the same as me, same as Ben, Chris, Stealth. We try to find out as much as we can, and we're getting to a point where we have to say, I have no fucking idea. This company is such a disgrace, such a disservice to the console community. There's nothing really I can tell you, but I will still keep fighting in all fairness. And if there's any people in there, sorry, Stealth, I am going to finish. Any people in the watching the stream tonight and you've not clicked on that thumbs up, please do that. It helps us and it helps me get more subscribers because I'm a bitch like that. There's 9 people watching at the moment. We've got 5 likes. Just press that button. Cheers. Thank you. Yes, Stealth.
Yeah, as we're saying, it's really, really shit when people are coming to us and saying, can you give me some information about the console release? And they come to us and they're hoping for something. We can't give them something, but what we can give them is a voice. We can fight and we can talk and we can do whatever the hell it takes. But as Devlin says, we're not just going to abandon you guys. So we can't give you the news that you're hoping for, but fuck me, we're going to fight for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we can give you right now. But Nicole, anyone else who's watching, we're not just going to walk away from this.
And do you know what? I'm going to say this. There's a guy out there that's doing my fucking nutting at the moment. Abel Green, please. The guy knows nothing about Sandstorm. You watch, if I do a Sandstorm video, Ben does a Sandstorm video, Chris does a Sandstorm video, even if Stealth did a Sandstorm video because they know they interact with me, he will put a Sandstorm video out. Abel Green is just a clickbait motherfucker. And Abel Green, you want to come back at me because I've been on your videos. You won't answer my question, will you, bitch?
I have one word. I have one word for these kinds of folks who just steal content. Copy pasta, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Find your own content, and it's not just mine. He steals other people's content. Fucking Abel Green. Look, look, mate. I've no disrespect for you. I used to watch your content till I realised I was watching my videos, and then I'd come back and watch yours. I thought, oh, he's a nice guy, and I thought, that's my content. I did that. Fucking Abel, mate. Find your own content.
It's not that hard either, to be honest.
It's not that hard, really.
I mean, especially when NWI is fucking
yeah,
as bad as it is.
NWI is bullshit. Like, you can milk that out. So
of course you can. I've milked the shit out of it, but because I am actually, I really genuinely do want to help. But look, please don't steal other people's ideas. Don't look, clickbait. I clickbait on my thumbnails. I put a thumbnail that I think people will click. Of course I do. That's a part of the grind. I'm not going to apologize for that. That's a part of the grind. Some people are very arty, like Chris. I don't know how you do your fucking thumbnails, mate. I just throw them up. I'm not very good at them. Chris is really arty with his thumbnails, so his get seen. I must admit, my thumbnails and maybe my descriptions are a bit clickbaity, but people who watch my videos know exactly what they're getting from Devlin. And Abel Green, he says, oh, you know, if you're not mean, if you're not green and all that. Abel, son, you always profess that you will say it exactly as it is. You sometimes sort of step on the edge of like saying exactly what you think, and then you don't, because you don't want to be in anyone's bad books. Your subscribers seem to like that, but I like to say that I'm quite happy with myself, that I stay sort of true to myself and true to the people that watch my videos and my streams. I don't give you bollocks, but Abel, you do, son.
Stand for something. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Have integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is the thing as well. You get people like
Guys, can you keep the stream going? I'm just going to go
Yeah.
for something that you should never do if you're young and you're watching the stream. Never smoke cigarettes. I'll be back in about 2 minutes.
This comes
Cheers,
from a
boys.
man who didn't really endorse, but gave advice on cigars. But don't do cigarettes, kids.
Yes.
That was a great drunk stream. Go back, watch our drunk stream. It was great. But yeah, this is the thing. Like, people like Abel are always so worried about their image with regards to developers and publishers, companies and shit, and all that. But the bottom line is, we don't hate the devs or the companies. Quite the opposite. We hate NWI, but it doesn't mean we don't want them to succeed. We are hard on them because we know that they could be better, and we know that they could really, really excel themselves. They're just not. And it's not like we're going out of our way to just be assholes or anything like that. We are going out of our way to point out that they are making a massive, massive misstep, because that's the thing. When you're there, when you're doing it, when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't always see these things. Sometimes it does take someone completely removed from it to just go, hang on a minute, what the fuck's going on here? And this is the thing. If NWI turned Insurgency Sandstorm around, really got a grip, grew some bollocks and did something with it, I'd be the first person to step back up and say, these people are improving. Look at this. Give them another chance if they get that far, and see what happens with it. Because this is the thing. You're not hating on the devs or anything like that. You're hating on the problems that the devs have. And that's what I think that people like Abel are so wishy-washy about. They want to get the pat on the head and they want to stay in the good books and all that shite. But at the end of the day, they need to realize that you're not doing this to hate on devs or anything. You're doing this to stick up for a community and to actually, as I say, point out flaws. At the end of the day, when those flaws go away, praise the company. Give them all the due credit that they are. They will then turn around and start thinking, this guy, maybe he's not an asshole. Maybe he's actually promoting us well when we do good shit. We should maybe do some more good shit. That's another X many thousand people who might see it for subs or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're always going to get people who suck dick, basically.
Yeah, ass eaters are really annoying, especially with the critiques. Prime example is Westy. Prime example is just Westy, him like praising Battlefield V, an absolute terrible, a joke of a title basically. But then, like when everything went sour, he immediately switched the personality. Like, oh my god, this one is garbage. Oh Jesus! Please don't suck ass. Like, critique the title properly, since criticism always helps. Like,
So fill me in, boys. What are we talking about?
But still.
I basically said that people like Abel and Simler suck up to devs because they want to get the pat on the head and they want to stay in the good books and they want to get paid off in certain cases, not saying all of them. But at the end of the day, I then said, you get the people like us. We don't hate on the dev or the publisher or anything like that. We hate the problems of the dev and the publisher, and when they turn around, we will sing their praises. We will point out what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and when they start making improvements on something, we will point out to the community. We will go, look at this. So it's not like a case of we're just bashing on a dev or whatever because we don't like them. We're bashing on the dev's problem. I'm basically just saying we're not doing it for saying people's good books. But at the end of the day, if you have the bollocks to say this is wrong, and then you have the integrity to say this is fixed, that won't get you in people's bad books. If anything, that will get you in people's good books. Because at the end of the day, you're acknowledging a dev's hard works. And if something is,
No, exactly.
it's like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is...
It was fucked, but apparently it's an awesome game now.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched an amazing video. I think it was from Internet Historian? I can't remember.
Internet Historian.
I'm gonna plug here the Engoodening of No Man's Sky. Give it a watch. If I was someone who was YouTubing based on No Man's Sky, I would have tore into the devs for the release date. But as they turned it around, I would have turned my attitude around as well, because all the problems that I would have been pointing out are gone. And by the end of it, and you're really holding up and backing up this dev, what have you got to be worried about?
Well, exactly. And the worst thing, I know we've sort of drifted back onto Sandstorm again tonight, which we always seem to do, is the fact that they said absolutely nothing, and that is a problem. You know, a lot of people have said it in my comments and said it in private messages. Look, if they told us we fucked up, or they told us that we're having problems with the game, they would have understood that. And that's where I honestly don't see the mentality of NWI. Yeah. But you know, sometimes I think, and I think I said it in my last video, like the Embracer Group have got a fantastic reputation. Saber Interactive, marvelous console ports, and they're letting their reputation being tarnished by this situation. But, you know, I was thinking, it was only last night I was thinking, shit, was it maybe the Embracer Group that's saying don't say anything? I don't know that. I was thinking that as well, because you know, sorry, Stealth, this game was coming out on the 25th of August of last year, but the Embracer Group must have been at least 6 months in talks with NWI about buying them out. So have they said keep quiet? I honestly don't know.
I think it's impossible to sort of guess at, but just sort of linking this to the point that we were...
It's radio silence, Hadley, not science.
Oh, good point, actually. I misread that. But yeah, linking this back to what we were saying about us hounding on the devs' problems and such. If NWI turned around tomorrow and said, we have fucked up this part, or we are 1% done with the console port, or whatever. Yeah.
We're not in a good place, or whatever.
I don't care what they say. They could tell me it's fucked beyond all recognition. It'll take
the dog at our homework.
Yeah. I don't give a shit what they tell me. If they tell me something, I will immediately turn around, renege all of my comments, and say NWI is now talking to us, and I would give them full praise and credit for starting talking to us, and I would go out of my way to highlight that to people and say, we are now getting something. This is good. We're moving in the right direction. Come on, let's start building some positive momentum.
Exactly.
I said it when Dara Dev was leaving, which was, if we are legitimately going
Dara Dev out.
Dara Dev fucked right off, she did. If we were legitimately going for a 25th, 26th release back in August, I said, get the hype train going. Say something. Get us behind you. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit if it's terrible news. It's news, and that's what we've been asking you for. That, in terms of what we have now, is astronomically far ahead of what we have, and that deserves due praise. Even if it's
exactly. I don't know if anyone's seen Frederick's comment.
Yeah.
And that's a nail. That's a nail on the head. That's exactly how I feel. If it's a dead horse, they should just say it and put it to bed one way or another.
Yeah, I
exactly.
respect them more coming out now and just saying we have.
They've
we are
lost
not
them.
going to
They've totally lost my respect. In all fairness,
That's the thing. I would have more respect for them if they turned around and said, "Now, yeah, we're done. Bye." I would at least say, at the end of it all, at least you were able to tell the truth. It doesn't mean I think you're a good company. It doesn't mean I have a more full, more complete respect of you. But I can acknowledge the fact that at the end of it all, you turned around and you actually said something. I will
No,
acknowledge
exactly.
that. I will respect that fact for you. You won't be completely just beneath contempt for me anymore. I would consider you to be not vindicated, but I would give you that nod and just say thank you very much. That's nice to know.
And Ben's just enhanced that comment. He said they need to start doing a state of production for the console players, which is correct. They should have had something ongoing doing that, and let us know. Have a peek behind the curtain. Basically, they should have just say, look, we're not where we'd like to be.
Treat it.
Just
treat it like,
do you know what? I've said it before. That I would have had nowhere to go. NWI. I couldn't have said anything. I couldn't have made the videos.
How NWI can turn this around tomorrow is treat it like an indie release, an indie Kickstarter alpha.
Frederick, I agree, mate. I totally agree with you, Frederick.
Yeah, but that is why I'm saying this point. Good night, Hadley. Have a good one.
Latest Hadley. Cheers, man.
If they treat it like an indie release that has just gotten out of Kickstarter, they've just started work, even if they show us a fucking technical on 9 polygons and no textures, yes, good. You're giving us something. Build on it. Keep going. Start the hype train moving.
Let people get hyped with you. Say, look, it's not in the place we want it, but we're moving on. We've got Sabre on board, and they're experienced, and they can get this port out for us. And then people are saying, right. And do you know what? People are being, there's an NWA post, or there's a video. Let's see how they're going. Yeah, we're a bit better. It's not where we want it to be, but they've done absolutely fuck all.
As I say, I don't care if you give me a 9 polygon technical.
And I still stand by it, Cheeky. I think it still should come out, regardless where they are with the development. I still think it should be free. I think it should, on console, they should say, fuck it. We've lost that community now. Give it them for free and let them see what we're all about.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't care if you give me a 9 polygon technical model. Just a dot obj of that technical or whatever.
Any gameplay would do.
And then that's what I'm saying. A month later, I don't care if you then show me that technical driving forward. It doesn't have reverse. It doesn't have sideways. It doesn't have brake. It just goes forwards. All right. We can see that you've done something. And I think NWI chronically underestimate how much of an impact even tiny, tiny steps forward like that would give them.
Yeah.
And
I think that's it.
I can't understand it in times.
Do you know what? Apart from the fact that they've, or if they have been told not to say anything whatsoever by the people above, I just can't get my head round. This is my problem. You see, I just can't get my head round why they wouldn't say anything, because the NWI. Excuse me, the NWI that I knew when Alex Blomsky was the community manager was so interactive. And I understand that he was there when it was just a PC game, and the console game obviously was supposed to come, but it wasn't such a big thing. But they made it a big thing, and then suddenly nothing. Yeah, exactly. There was absolutely nothing. They were making a big thing that is coming out on console. The first decent tactical hardcore shooter to come to console, and for me, they've totally fucked it.
Yeah, it's as North says, people are just fed up at this point, which is why, as I say, even tiny things now would be valuable to them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a major dev pushing for a major on-time release and you started putting out tiny updates like, yes, the technical moves forward, yes, it has left turn now, yes, it has right turn now, people would look at you and think, why the fuck are you telling me this? But in the situation that NWI's are, even that would be valuable to them.
I know, exactly. But yeah, you know, I'm actually fucking speechless at this moment in time because I'm thinking about it again. I'm actually really speechless. I was just looking what North put there. Do you know what? For on their perspective and for the Embracer Group's perspective, they again, going back to North there, they have massively missed out on not just an opportunity, so much money
Yeah.
that they could have used to develop
point of view,
next
isn't it?
games. I'm honestly, I'm flummoxed, I'm flabbergasted. Flabbergasted? That's a bit of a...
Yeah, flabbergasted.
Yeah. I honestly don't know why and what the reasoning was and why they would do this. And like you said, anything Stealth would have done. Any explanation, anything.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I literally just pulled up some quick stats. I don't know how accurate these are, but just looking at it, the value of the console gaming market as a whole
It's massive.
last year. Does anyone want to take a punt?
I'd go... What, console in general, or we're just talking...
The global console gaming market net worth.
I'd go... Right, it's a punt. 8 billion.
8 billion? Chris,
Yeah.
what do you get? Higher or lower?
I don't know.
Just say higher.
It's just a punt.
Higher.
Higher? All right. So
Higher,
Devlin,
yes.
you said,
Like the
you said 8
console is
billion.
a huge market. So.
The global console gaming market as of 2020, i.e., when we were all in lockdown and the world was ending, $45.2 billion.
Fuck off.
Oh, shit.
And they've missed a slice of that.
42.
Shit.
More than some countries.
Shit.
For sure, like about 200 of my countries is guaranteed there.
Fucking hell, Britain owes China more than that.
It's
Holy
insane.
Oh my god.
It's mental. I mean,
No,
That's
real.
incredible. That's
They missed the market.
madness.
Seriously, like
But,
imagine
okay.
if they started it from 2016 and imagine the sales going through the years. So they would have generated a lot then. Then also going by the
Correct.
years, because the sale and shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Cheeky, I'm not sure, mate. If they stopped on last gen consoles just to work on next gen. I don't know how it works. Is it the same Stealth? You're probably better than me as a Stealth, a software developer, but not a game developer. I don't know how it works. If, say, for argument's sake, there was some hardware upgraded, is it much of a difference to go from one, even if it was same architecture, same structure? If you could just maybe explain
I just
that.
want to help put something in perspective, just regards to the last point quickly. Console gaming market, for argument's
Sorry, can I just stop you there? Nicole's asking, what did you say? Was it 42 something billion?
$45.8 billion in 2020.
Fucking.
Sorry, 45.2 billion. My bad. But just to put that in perspective, Chris, you are from the lovely country of Moldova, correct?
Yes.
The lovely country of Moldova's GDP is 11.97.
Shit!
That is multiple Moldovas.
Fuck!
I'm telling you, mate, like at least 200 of my scrapyards just to get that.
You need to get building helicopters, Chris.
I swear, if
Okay.
you give birth to science for the consoles, you're a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
To jump back to the question
Oh my God.
of getting something running on a piece of hardware. So, PC, we work on Windows 10. Xbox X, I believe it was, works on... I can't remember what it's called, but essentially it's a stripped down Windows 10, which is why
Okay.
If something's going to be ported to Xbox, it's usually pretty sharp if it's already on PC.
Oh, I've lost a like.
Fuck it now.
Oh,
Because
shit.
God's
underneath it
devastating.
all, the OS is basically the same. When a piece of hardware changes within that system, only if that hardware changes. So, for example, before the 30 series, we didn't have ray tracing and such.
Okay.
If I just updated from, say, a 1060 to a 1080 inside my imaginary console, let's call it the Devlin box. If the Devlin box had a 1060 in it, and then we upgraded to the Devlin box Mark II, which has a 1080 in it, that's not going to mean anything. That's just going to mean we have more power to play with. So let's just add in some more, some higher resolution textures or something like that, maybe.
So is that how it works, Stealth?
Pretty much. I mean,
This
what
generation,
is
yes,
a
it's
console
pretty
but a
much
stripped down PC?
No,
That's the way you
consoles
need to
right
think
now
about
are
it.
basically PCs. Like even
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox are basically PCs.
I will say,
So the architecture's exactly the same. It's just the fact
It
that
is
you
not
can put
exactly-
more, higher resolutions, better frame rates, blah blah blah.
exactly the same is the thing, because
Shit,
PCs are built to spec.
shit.
Consoles are built to ship units. Therefore, you have to make them accessible. You have to make them at a cheaper price. You have to put less powerful gear in them to maintain that price, to maintain sales. But that means you need to save on whatever the hell you can, which is why Xbox runs a stripped down version of Windows 10, because you're not going to need inbuilt browsers. Well, you do now, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna need all of the inbuilt shit that you get there. You're not going to need stuff for I don't know, some stuff to do with the file system.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. You can strip out an insane amount. I remember I looked this up a long while ago, and I think it's like 30 to 50% slimmer than a PC
Shit.
or something like that. But that, of course, then means that you have to work a bit more creatively, because you might not have what you're relying on with a PC game to work the same way on the console. It might not physically be there, it might work in a different way. But at the end of the day, you're just writing it for a system.
So for the layman, you're saying the architecture is exactly the same. It's just with a
You're comparing a PC, which is a
Okay.
two-story 5-bedroom home,
okay,
with a 3-bedroom bungalow. They are
Okay.
both houses. They both have bedrooms. They both have bathrooms.
but they're decorated differently.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the absolute boiled down layman's version of it. Is they do the same thing under the hood, which is you live in them. It's just you live in them a little bit differently.
You can open the door, you can walk outside, but when you walk back inside, they'll look completely different.
You might have a garden. You might not have a garden.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So, in effect, am I right or wrong? You're saying if they built a version for, in fact, it probably, I don't understand this then. So it'd probably be easier going from a better graded console. So people who are saying, right, they're waiting so they could make it better for the PS5 and the Xbox X series. So I don't know if you're saying, look, if they'd built one for the Xbox One X and the PS4, it would have been an easier transition to the PS5 and the Xbox X series.
Well, yes and no is the thing, because if you are just upgrading arbitrary components, i.e. a bigger disc and higher RAM,
Right.
nothing is really going to change. The difference between a game that comes out on the PS4 and the game that comes out, let's say the Devlin 1 and the Devlin 2 box.
Yeah.
Let's say the only thing that
Both old.
yeah. Let's say the only thing that
Fuck you.
changes between them is that it's got a bigger hard drive.
Okay.
Absolutely no changes. You stick it in a new box, you send off the exact same game. That's fine. If you change between operating systems or a piece of physical hardware that is integral, such as my graphics card is a 1080, if I then upgraded to the Devlin box to a 3080 or whatever, which has ray tracing, that might have a completely separate way of working with it. We might have to actually do some rewriting or reworking of some stuff. But this is all comparing based upon a PC port to an Xbox port, because as I said, both of them are running derivatives of Windows. A difficulty may well come in if you decide to go between PC and PS4 or PS whatever, because that is a completely different operating system.
Right. Okay.
And that takes a lot more doing. But PC to Xbox is a lot more simple because at least your underlying structure is the same. You're both building a house on a main road or whatever. If you go from PC to PS4 or Android or whoever knows what else, a different OS, that's like saying we have a 2-story 5-bedroom house for the PC,
Cheers,
and
Nicole.
we have a canal riverboat. Yes, you live in them, but one is on water, one is on land. It's completely different all of a sudden, you know? So what I'm saying
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense, and because I'm actually going to close the stream soon anyway. Nicole,
Sure.
you'd be quite happy. Her phone's running out, and she's still watching. She can't message anymore because her phone's going to run out. So, in effect, Stealth. So you think? I know you've tried to explain it in layman's terms. Do you think the fact that, for argument's sake, they had a half decent build on the PS4 on the Xbox One X, that wouldn't have been too much of a task for a reputable company like Saber Interactive to have ported that to the new generation console?
See, I can't make an accurate comment on that because I don't know the source code. But what I can say is if you give a PC game which is utter bollocks under the hood and you have to rewrite that into working onto a console, that means you have to rewrite utter bollocks.
Oh, breaking news, North in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that too, North. I mentioned that it's fucking stupid. But that means you have to rewrite utter bollocks in a different way to get it working. And it's, trust me, if you pray you never encounter bad code, ladies and gents, because it's horrendous. If you then have to take something horrendous and make it just as horrendous in a different fucking way, it can be an absolute nightmare. Not only because it's still as horrendous, but you have to numb it down even further.
Yeah.
It's insane. But if you want my honest opinion as to why this is taking so long, it's because they're trying to fit a 2-story 5-bedroom home's worth of shit
into a bungalow.
Yeah, it's just not going to fucking happen.
Totally shit.
That is honestly why I think it's happening. Because if you, ladies and gents, remember a few years back, there was a big bit of controversy that happened with one of the updates that was stealthily slipped in there. And that update said, we are making some things ready for console. What did they do in that update? Massive downscaling in textures.
Oh, yeah, proper down. Yeah,
You
Chris does, because he kicked off about it.
That's why, ladies and gents, because they're trying to fit that 5-bedroom, 2-story home into a 3-bedroom bungalow. That is the only reason why you would decide.
I remember that,
the
North.
entire game. That is the only reason why you do it. Is simply because the place that you're trying to put that won't fit. There's no other logic for it other than a really, really, really shitty and cheap way to optimize, which it didn't even do. Which
No, exactly.
throws that out. So,
and do you know what? I just want to put out there, just before I finish the stream, PC players, we accepted the problems at the beginning. You'll see, probably, I think my most popular video is like talking about the frame rate issues in Insurgency Sandstorm for the PC. We accepted that because you spoke to us. The reason I think that the console players are not accepting the non-release of the console is because you've not spoken to them. I don't hate the company. I don't hate any individuals. I have nothing against you. I'm not particularly happy with one or two of yours. But the game, I think, is an absolutely fantastic game, and I think the console players are missing out on a brilliant release.
honestly, yeah.
But, I look at things in perspectives. I don't sit there pulling my sneakers out when people want to know what's happening with the console. It's a disrespect, Father Hank. You need to stop that, son. But anyway, I'm gonna finish the stream tonight. I've had a decent chat. We've had some new people in the comments. I want to thank Chris from Chris T Gaming Zone. Did I get that right, Chris?
Yes, you did.
Chris is predominantly Battlefield player who does a lot of excellent work for the Battlefield 2 community. Most of his stuff is, or not most of it, but a lot of his stuff is doing mods, but he does stuff on Sandstorm. I'd love, if please anyone's watching, to subscribe to his channel. So that's Chris at Chris T Gaming Zone. And we've also got Stealth Slicer, informative guy. He's a developer. We don't even know what the fuck he does, to be honest. Really nice guy. And another guy in the chat, we've got Bennett and All Cinematics. I'm sure you subscribe to him as well. But if you've not clicked on the like button, which you have, I think, because we've got 9 likes now, I want to say thank you for coming to the stream. It's been awesome. Guys, just say goodnight.
Chris, I'll let you go first.
Oh, thank you. Cheers once again for the support, everyone.
Promote your channel,
for
Chris.
Plugging me. Thank you very much for the support, everyone, tonight. If you are interested in more Sandstorm, Battlefield stuff, feel free to check it out. If not, just enjoy us talking here on Mr. Devlin's podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey guys, I do apologize for my criminal lack of content the past few months, but
Yes.
I promise you,
You need to deal with that.
I am working on my workspace, but I have also been balancing a major release at work. I do apologize. I do want to get back to content, and I promise you I will get back to content once my work night is finished. And also, Nicole, yes, calming stream. Lance, we need to do some softly spoken ASMR streams sometime, I believe. So I will say this is Stealth 77. Good night. Stay safe.
Yeah, cool. And thank you, everyone, especially Nicole. We've not seen you in the chat before. Maybe we have, and we've missed you. But Nicole, thank you. And if anyone's still watching, don't forget, go to www.trngamers.co.uk. I'm going to start giving free giveaways on the site. I've not decided what I'm going to do yet, but you know what? Cheers. And Ben, good night. So this is Mr. Devlin and the other 2 boys out. It's done. We're done. It takes ages because when you go